Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary, and I'm joined today by Lori and Jan.
Hello.
We have a great show planned today. I tell you what, that Fufeng issue, it's not going away. We have Dr. Dexter Perkins from the University of North Dakota. He's a geology professor. He's going to visit with us for the first few segments, and then we're going to jump into something that we just found out. There is a bill going around now. Miss Jan found it, how they want to stop people to have the ability to go ahead and buy health products like vitamins, supplements, that you have to have a prescription to get a supplement. So that means if you need to take vitamin C, you need a prescription for it. It's crazy. They're trying to hide it in a bill. So there's all kinds of things going on in the background, and you just have to keep digging. And then, of course, we're going to leave you with our lighter side because, you know us, we get so wound up during the day, we have to leave you with something lighter. But let's get right to Dr. Perkins. Dexter, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you agreed to join us. I know you are a professor up at in Grand Forks at the University of North Dakota.
Yep.
All right, so why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background before we dig into the Fufeng project?
Well, I've been teaching here for more than 40 years. I think maybe I've been here more than any other faculty member. When I was first starting out my career, I did a lot of geological research into minerals and rocks, mostly from very ancient parts of the world. And then subsequently, I became more interested in focusing primarily on education, which is what I do now. And I really enjoy what I'm doing. And I've written several different textbooks in the last few years, and it's just all very, very exciting.
Oh, that is exciting, and we're so glad that you were able to join us. I know, we've been covering the Fufeng project here for quite some time now, since we had learned about it. And I guess one of the big concerns is the city wants to have it, the citizens don't want to have it, and it doesn't seem like anyone's able to meet in the middle. But I know that there's an environmental aspect to it as well. What's your opinion on that?
This project has so many things wrong with it, it's almost hard to know where to begin. What attracted my attention was when they first announced it, they said that they were going to double the amount of natural gas burned in our town. And this is criminal at a time when all the experts in climate say we should be burning less natural gas, not more. And I looked into it and I found out that this plant will be the largest polluter in our region if it operates at the capacity where they have it outlined, the largest, except for a couple of coal-fired electrical plants. It's huge. It's equivalent to adding 175,000 new cars to the roads in Grand Forks. That's a lot of pollution. And nobody on the city council or the mayor seems to think this is a big deal. For me, that by itself should stop it. But there's all sorts of other environmental related things. The plant's going to double the amount of water consumed in our town. And yet last summer we had a water shortage and we were told not to water our lawn. I don't know how that can play out. It's going to increase the amount of solid waste by a huge amount. I calculated it. What was the number I got? Something like 1 billion pounds of solid waste every year is going to be produced by this manufacturing process. And of course, it's going to lead to stinky odors because agricultural plants always do. And the list goes on. There are just so many environmental problems, and the people promoting it don't care.
I know we don't have to go far to see the air pollution in China. In fact, before the Olympics were held this last winter, they shut down all the factories to clear the air so that wouldn't be televised. We do have a couple photos of the air pollution in China. Let's take a peek. So this is where it's just wafting in. It was time sensitive. They went ahead and put the cameras in slow motion and then sped them up. And that's what it looks like in Beijing.
So they just went backwards by limiting the traffic and stuff before the Olympics so that people could actually see what was there and breathe the air as an athlete.
And I know we have some other photos. There's people like dancing in a square, and you can't hardly see them because of the air pollution. This is what it's like in China, and so this is what we want for Grand Forks. When I think of North Dakota, I think of the pristine landscape that we have here and the blue skies. And when you think of a factory run by China, the biggest polluter in the world, and we're going to go ahead and plant that right in the heartland. I'm not understanding that.
Well, this is part of the leaders of our town believe that all growth is good growth. And anybody that says that a new factory coming to town poses problems gets dismissed because they only see a new factory coming to town as being economic development. This factory will provide 250 new jobs. I don't think that's a lot of jobs, but we don't have an unemployment problem here, so we don't need it. And the mayor says that our property taxes will go down if this factory is built, but it's not going to happen. And in fact, the factory is getting $100 million subsidy from the city to come here and 20 years of tax deferment. So it just doesn't make any sense to do it unless you really believe that economic development and growth are absolutely necessary. And one city council member said, we got to grow or we die. And that means you're in bad trouble forever because you can't grow forever. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, when you talk about like the air pollution and then also ground pollution that's going to be happening, and they're fast tracking this the way it is. So how do we know that they're going to have the environment, they're going to have those concerns, they're going to have those ordinances involved and watch them? I mean, are they going to pay them off? I mean, what are they going to do to prevent that from happening?
Well, the way these projects usually go is people forge ahead. And when you bring up issues like that, they say, oh, we'll solve that problem when we come to it, right? Or they say, well, we have to get permits from the North Dakota Health Department. And none of these address the problems. They're just ways of saying, go away, don't bring up these issues. We don't want to be bothered by them.
That's scary because, if it's go sit down and be quiet and we have legitimate concerns and they're being silenced, is this a corruption of influence?
That's what it is. It's corruption of influence. I know the people in the city council and I know the mayor and I know they're sincere. They really think this is something good for our town. They've bought into that argument. And it's just not so. More growth, another factory in our town will not improve the life of the people in Grand Forks. It'll maybe make it worse. Depends whether the things that I'm concerned about come to be. But the idea that you just got to build another factory whenever you get an opportunity is bogus.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that regarding the workforce, they're already trying to hire people away from other engineering positions that are in Grand Forks. So if they're going to go to that new factory, then of course there's going to be positions open in the other industries. So that to me is crazy.
It is.
But I tell you what, go ahead.
I was going to say it's just nuts. And here's a telling thing. The city has not produced a financial pro forma that shows this is a moneymaker for our town. There has been no financial statement, because if there was, you can bet that I and a million other people smarter than I would be looking at it and scrutinizing it. And so we've been looking for it. They have not yet shown that this is a profitable undertaking for Grand Forks.